I am telling this story exactly as it happened to me. Not to scare anyone, but to warn. This happened on a Friday night. I was traveling alone by car, heading toward a distant city. It had been raining since evening, and the sky was dark even before night fell. I decided to take a jungle road to save time. People had warned me about this route, but I ignored them. That was my mistake. As I entered the jungle, the rain became heavier. Thick trees surrounded the road, blocking all light. My phone had no signal. Only the sound of rain and my car engine kept me company. Around 11:30 p.m., the car suddenly jerked. The engine died. I tried restarting it again and again, but nothing worked. Rain poured harder, soaking the road and turning everything slippery. I stepped out of the car to check the engine, but I didn't understand anything. The headlights went off. I was standing alone in the jungle, in the rain, with no help. I tried pushing the car. It didn't move. I waited, hoping another vehicle would pass. Minutes felt like hours. No one came. Fear slowly crept into my chest. I decided to walk and look for help. I locked the car and started walking along the road. Rain hit my face. My clothes were heavy, and my shoes sank into the mud. The jungle felt alive, strange sounds, branches moving, water dripping everywhere. After walking for a long time, my legs started hurting. My heart was beating fast. Then I saw someone. A man was standing near the road. He was very tall, taller than any normal person. His body was wide, his clothes old and dirty, but he looked human, calm, normal. I slowed down. Something inside me said not to trust him. I didn't want to ask for help. But before I could turn away, he spoke. "Do you need help?" He asked in a deep, quiet voice. I didn't answer. He looked at me and smiled slightly. "Your car broke down, didn't it? I can help you." I asked him how he knew. He pointed down the road. "I saw you walking in the rain." I hesitated. Then he said, "I will fix your car tomorrow morning, but you must stay at my place tonight." I felt uneasy. I asked, "Where do you live?" He turned and pointed into the jungle. "My house is nearby." I didn't want to go. Every part of me screamed to run away. But the rain, the darkness, the jungle, I had no other choice. I agreed. We walked through the trees. After some time, a large old bungalow appeared. It looked abandoned. Broken walls, dark windows, and vines growing everywhere. I stopped. "Is this your house?" I asked. He looked at me and said calmly, "Yes, this is my home." Lightning flashed. For a moment, I thought I saw something strange behind him, but it disappeared. I followed him inside. The door closed behind us with a loud sound, and the smell hit me. Old wood, rust, and something else. Something metallic, like blood. The man locked the door from inside. The sound echoed through the bungalow. My heart skipped a beat. The place was darker than it looked from outside. Only one weak bulb hung from the ceiling, swinging slightly. Shadows moved along the walls, even though nothing was there. The man told me to sit. His voice was calm, too calm for a place like this. "I will show you your room," he said. We walked down a long corridor. The wooden floor creaked with every step. Rainwater dripped through cracks in the ceiling. I noticed old marks on the wall, scratches, deep and uneven, as if something had been dragged. He stopped in front of a door at the end. "This is where you will sleep," he said. He opened the door. My chest tightened. The room was small and cold. There was only a broken bed in the corner. The walls were stained dark. On the floor, I saw old dried marks. Blood. My hands started shaking. I asked him, "Why is there blood here?" He looked at the stains and said quietly, "Old memories." I wanted to leave. I wanted to run back into the rain, but the door behind me closed again. He said, "Rest. Morning will come soon." Then he left. The door locked. I sat on the bed, breathing fast. My heart was beating so hard I could hear it in my ears. Every sound from the bungalow felt louder in the silence. I tried to pray, but my mind was blank. After some time, I heard a sound from below, a slow metallic noise, like something heavy being dragged. I stood up. Near the wall, I noticed something I hadn't seen before. A small door. Very small. Almost hidden. It was an underground door. Before I could move, the door slowly opened by itself. Cold air rushed out. The tall man appeared behind me. "You should see this," he said. Before I could speak, he pushed me. I fell down the steps. Hard. Pain shot through my leg. I screamed. Something cracked. I couldn't stand properly. I was limping. The underground place was darker than the room above. The smell was unbearable. Rust, oil, and blood. He pointed toward the darkness. That's when I saw it. A shadow moving. Slow. Heavy. Then I heard it. A loud mechanical sound. Like a machine starting. My body froze. From the darkness, a figure stepped forward. Tall. Wider than a normal man. No head. Just a thick neck ending in nothing. In its hands was a large tree-cutting machine, like a heavy saw. The blade was turning slowly, making a deep, terrifying sound. The sound alone made my knees weak. The tall man behind me whispered, "You were not supposed to see this." Fear exploded inside me. I turned and tried to run, but my leg failed. I limped up the stairs, holding the wall, crying out in pain. Behind me, the machine sound grew louder. I reached the corridor and ran toward the main door. Almost there. Suddenly, strong hands grabbed me from behind. The tall man. He lifted me easily, like I weighed nothing. "No one leaves," he said, and dragged me back into the darkness. I was thrown onto the cold underground floor. My injured leg hit the ground hard, and pain shot through my entire body. I screamed, but the sound was swallowed by the darkness. The underground room was larger than I thought, with stone walls and a low ceiling. Water dripped slowly from above. The tall man stood over me. He pulled out heavy iron chains. Before I could react, he wrapped them around my arms and chest, locking me against a metal pillar. The chains were cold and tight. I tried to move, but my body wouldn't respond properly because of my leg. "You should not have tried to run," he said. I begged him to let me go. I promised I wouldn't tell anyone. My voice was shaking. He didn't react. Instead, he walked to a switchboard fixed on the wall. Old wires ran from it across the floor. He looked at me and said, "This will make you quiet." He turned the switch. A sudden shock passed through my body. Not strong enough to kill me, but strong enough to freeze my muscles and blur my vision. My head started spinning. My ears rang. I screamed, but my voice sounded far away, like it wasn't mine anymore. He turned the switch off. I was breathing heavily, barely conscious. Then I heard it again, the machine. The deep mechanical sound echoed through the underground room. The headless man stepped out of the shadows. Up close, it was even more terrifying. Its body was huge. The skin looked old and rough. There was no head, no face, only silence above its shoulders. In its hands was the tree-cutting machine. The blade started spinning faster. The sound filled the room and entered my mind. My heart felt like it would burst. I tried to pull against the chains, but they didn't move. The tall man stood beside it, watching calmly. The headless man moved closer, step by step. The machine came closer to my body. The fear was unbearable. I closed my eyes and screamed as loud as I could. Suddenly, something cold splashed on my face. Water. I gasped and opened my eyes. The machine sound stopped. The underground room disappeared. I was lying on my bed. My mother was standing over me, holding a glass of water. She was smiling gently. I was shaking, covered in sweat, my heart racing. I told her everything. The jungle, the rain, the car, the tall man, the headless creature. She listened quietly. Then she asked me softly, "Did you pray last night before sleeping?" I lowered my head and said no. She placed her hand on my forehead and said, "Pray before sleeping and recite the dua. Nightmares don't come without a reason." I sat there in silence. But even now, sometimes when it rains heavily at night, I still hear that machine sound in my head. I sat on the bed for a long time after telling my mother everything. My heart was still racing, and my clothes were wet with sweat, as if I had really been running in the rain. My mother wiped my face gently and said nothing for a few seconds. Then she spoke. "Dreams like this don't come for no reason," she said. "Fear comes when protection is missing." I asked her what she meant. She looked at me and said, "Did you pray before sleeping last night?" I stayed quiet. She nodded, as if she already knew the answer. "You travel, you drive at night, you walk into unknown places," she said calmly. "But you forget to ask for protection." She told me to wash my face, pray, and recite the sleeping dua before going to bed. I did exactly that. That night, I slept peacefully. No jungle, no rain, no bungalow, no headless man. Morning came like nothing had happened. But something stayed with me. Since that night, I never travel alone at night without praying. I avoid shortcuts through empty places. And whenever I hear heavy rain, I remember that dream clearly, every sound, every step, every shadow. Because it didn't feel like just a dream. It felt like a warning. Some places are not meant to be crossed. Some doors should never be opened. And some nights remind us why prayer matters. If you have watched this story till the end, thank you for listening. And if you believe in protection, don't forget to pray before sleeping. Thanks for watching.